Hello everyone, welcome to Reggae Boys Commentary. Thank you very much for tuning in to another video on this channel. As you can see, very special guest we have. Recently called up Reggae Boy Blair Turgott. He has his passport, he's ready, he's involved in the squad for the upcoming set of matches against Japan, Serbia, and also Japan's Olympic team. Blair, how are you doing, man? Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, I'm doing very good, thank you. I'm doing very good, yeah, very well.
It's a pleasure to finally catch up with you. Firstly, Blair, how are you doing? How's the family doing? And how are things in Sweden right now, especially with the virus and the vaccinations rollout and everything like that?
Yeah, it's been it's difficult for everyone around the world, but probably say the only almost positive thing about being here in Sweden, there's been no sort of, I know back home there's been like the lockdown and you haven't been able to go outside and everything like that. I think this was probably one of the only countries in probably the world actually that's kind of left it down to the public to make their decisions. So things have still been open. Obviously, you still have to have your precautions of, where to be and not to be around too many people. But in terms of like, I've got a little girl, so we can go to the park and we can go outside and just have to be, obviously distant from people. But it's not as bad as if I was back home in England. So I guess that side of things has been a bit better. But yeah, I think it's difficult times playing with no crowd. Like, these things we'll never think of, but it's what we have to come to terms with, and you just have to be professional, really.
Yeah, and let's get to know you a little bit better and your Jamaican heritage and everything. Was it your parents? Was it your grandparents that were born on the island? What's the link really towards Jamaica?
Yeah, so my dad's side, all of my grandparents are Jamaican, born in Jamaica. My dad's side, side's the Turgotts, which are from like Mansion Hill and Portland, and then my mum's side, which is the Taylors, they're from Clarendon. So yeah, obviously growing up as a kid, I've been there to and from plenty of times. My mum and dad actually got married in Jamaica. So yeah, that was really nice as well. A good moment, and I've kept in touch with a lot of my family that's still there now. We regularly speak and stuff, and especially during the COVID and stuff like that. My grandparents, well, my mum's side of my grandparents, they was in Jamaica, then they left to come over to England when they had my mum, and then they retired and went back to Jamaica, and then about 5 years ago, because they was a bit ill, they went to America to be looked after by my auntie. Sadly, my granddad passed away, but my grandma is still alive in America. She's 97 years old, so she's still going strong. And yeah, everyone from both my grandparents from my dad's side have passed away, but this is just like it's a proud moment for them and for me and yeah, my family really. So just really looking forward to it.
Yeah, condolences to you and your family on the loss there, Blair. But I'm sure, like growing up in England, though, I'm sure you had that Jamaican culture and heritage growing up, the food, the music, everything like that, growing up as a youngster within London.
Yeah, of course. Like a lot of my family that are in England, they live in Nottingham, so a lot of the times we would be there. And I guess when people say to you like, where are you from, initially you don't. Me growing up, I don't say English, I say Jamaican, because that's like my heritage and that's everything that has been installed in me from a kid, and like my culture and the way we move, the way we dress, everything. It's kind of, that's something that is me. So in terms of growing up in England, yeah, that's where I was born. But like you said, my heritage and my culture and the way we go about things is of one.
Yeah, and speaking about it, really, like the journey you had at West Ham, I have English heritage, and when people think West Ham, there's not really much Caribbean, the diaspora in that area. You think about the African heritage in Stratford and East London specifically, but West Ham, not really a lot of Caribbean roots and people in that sort of area. Probably south of London, probably west in Ealing, but how did that opportunity come about? Because West Ham is more of an African area in terms of heritage of people.
Yeah, well, I'm actually from South London, so I was born in South London. A lot of my family members live in South London, and growing up, I started off playing football when I was about 5 or 6 years old, and my dad made a team in South London in Dulwich. I don't know if you know of Dulwich, but
Yeah.
yeah, we had a team there called Pillow. And yeah, we was doing really well. And then obviously, you know, when you're at that age, you have scouts and stuff like that, and kind of had the pick to go to any club in London, really. But then, you know, with the Academy of Football and the whole almost, you know, the bubble that West Ham is looked upon, and especially for academies, when you hear of the players like Joe Cole, Frank Lampard, Rio Ferdinand, the list goes on.
Yeah.
When you hear of them players, you know, you always think that this is going to be a perfect place for me to grow as a person, as a footballer. And that was probably what steered my decision mostly to go to West Ham, because of, you know, at that young age, you think, where's probably the best place to be? You don't want to go somewhere where there's no avenue to the first team, and you don't want to go somewhere that, you know, your development and coaching and stuff like that, etc. So I just thought at the time West Ham was the perfect fit. And yeah, I was there for a long time. I'd done regularly the drive across from South London to East London. Like, it was a nightmare at times, but no, I can only be grateful of it, really.
Yeah, and it's fair to say, especially the time that you went there, players got opportunities, especially coming from the academy and so forth. Joby McAnuff had some playing time there. Did you have a chance to train with Zavon Heinz, Jamaican born, now coaching there? Did you ever train with him, Zavon Heinz?
Yeah, me and Zavon, actually, I played with Zavon a few times, actually. Growing up, when I was probably about under 14s, I think under 15s, I made my first reserve appearance. I was like 15. I played for the reserve team, and it's actually a mad story, actually, because my mum and dad had a shop in Beckenham, a football shop. A lot of people know, but and there was a hairdresser's across the road from them, and it was actually Zavon Heinz's mum. Yeah, and
Wow.
obviously, you know, like, you know how Jamaican people are. Somehow they got
Yeah.
speaking, and suddenly they become, you know, really good friends. And she did say to me that, "Do you know a player called Zavon? Do you know a player called Zavon that's at West Ham with you?"
Mm,
And I was like, "Yeah, of
mm.
course. I see him every day, etc." And then we ended up playing in the reserve team together.
Oh, wow.
And then obviously he made his debut and he done really well in the first team. And then actually it goes on from that. Actually, when I made my first when I had my first loan move, so when I went to
Mm,
Bradford when I was 17 years old, Zavon was there at the time.
mm.
So
Yeah.
Zavon was in the Bradford team, and obviously it was a familiar face as well for me, which was really good. And he made me feel really, like, you know, he helped me a lot in that process, because it was difficult, as being your first loan at such a young age.
Mm,
And yeah, and we've always stayed in touch ever since, really. And then when I went to Dagenham and Redbridge on loan, when I was at West
mm.
Ham, Zavon was there as well. So yeah, we've crossed paths a few times, and yeah, every time I've been, he's kind of like an older brother to me. You know, it's always someone that's give me advice, and he congratulated me on this call up that I had. And yeah, man, he's a really nice person. I can't speak highly of him.
Yeah, definitely top lad, and of course he's coaching now at West Ham. So we wish him all the best in the academy and so forth. We're gonna talk about Jamaica in a little bit, but I just wanted to get back to, you know, that journey almost 10 years ago. Next month, 10 years ago, you played in a under 17 World Cup over in Mexico. I just wanted to know what the experience was like playing for you in a World Cup. Yes, a Youth World Cup, a Junior World Cup, but being on the same pitch with Raheem Sterling, as you know, born on the island, and just a talented squad that's obviously some of them have made the breakthrough either in the Premier League or even in the English team as well. That experience going to Mexico and playing in a World Cup.
Yeah, no, that experience was amazing. There are things in life that you kind of take with you forever. And yeah, it's a youth level tournament, and you know, some people may say it's only, you know, youth level, but representing your country anytime you play whatever level it is always massive. So obviously for me at that age, going away, going to a World Cup, like the whole atmosphere, you know, the whole vibe around Mexico was so, like, you know, tuned towards the World Cup, and it was just such a massive occasion. Um, Obviously we always thought we had a good chance, because the team that we had and the players that we had at our disposal was really good, and we had a good team, and it was really unlucky, to be honest. But yeah, it was an amazing experience. Like, my family come out. I remember my family coming out for they come out for like a week, and they come out to watch when we played in the group stages against Canada, and when we played
Mm.
against
Uruguay.
Uruguay.
Yeah.
And I scored. I remember I scored
Canada.
against
Yeah.
Canada, yeah. And obviously the crowd, the stadium was full. But you know, like, somehow, I don't know how, I picked up my brother and my dad somehow in the crowd, and that moment, it gives me goosebumps talking about it. Like, you know, them moments in life, money can't buy them moments. So going to, you know, the World Cup at such a young age was amazing, and you learn so much from it. And obviously sharing a picture with so many players that have that you thought at the time was going to have great careers, and they've carried on to have great careers, is really good also.
Yeah, I'll tell you a short story about that because at the same time I was doing my GCSEs. It was like a Wednesday you were playing against Canada. Of course, we're
Yeah.
in a similar time zone to Canada, and you came on as a second half substitute. And
Mm.
when you pulled that trigger, I was raving, man. The ball ended up in the back of the net. Trust me, because obviously people in Jamaica knew you have Jamaican heritage, and people were hoping in the future one day you play for Jamaica. And I tell you
Yeah.
something interesting: the equalizer that Canada scored, their goalkeeper, he was actually born to
Yes.
Jamaican parents as well. So
Oh,
that's another
really?
interesting. Yeah, Quillian Roberts. Yeah.
He ruined my day, man. He ruined my day.
Ah,
I thought I was
man.
gonna get the headlines, but he took the headlines off.
I mean, still getting one of the goals of the tournament must have been outstanding for you. I'm not sure what Jordan Pickford was thinking, but yeah, still to score in a World Cup, outstanding. And you know that round of 16 game against Argentina to win a penalty shootout when people were saying England can't win a penalty shootout, that must have been an experience
Mm.
by itself as well, you know?
Yeah, that was mad. I remember that game like it was yesterday. I remember the rain was just non-stop the whole game.
Yeah.
I was getting cramped left, right, and center. We had to just dig in, and yeah, we went to penalties, and you know it's a lottery when you go to penalties. So, but you know, God was on our side that day, and we made it through. So, man, it
Yeah.
was amazing. It was an amazing experience.
Yeah. But like flying over to Mexico, did you know at the back of your head, oh, Jamaica is qualified. Jamaica is actually there. Oh, nice one. We might actually play them in the tournament. Was that in your
Yeah,
mind? That's all.
yeah. Do you know what? My cousins at the time, and even my
Yeah.
uncles, they reminded me so much because obviously, you know, they was rooting for me, but not
Yeah.
England. They was rooting for Jamaica. So when they see that there was a possible chance that we could be playing or they was gonna get through the group and etc., like they kind of, you know, that they wanted that to happen. So yeah, I knew, you know, I knew the situation, and yeah, man, it was an amazing experience.
Yeah, you know, the media sometimes in England may paint a picture about players and how they act, like Raheem Sterling. They might judge you based on the jewelry you wear or how you dress, etc. But just being in the same dressing room with him and other individuals, people say he's such a humble guy. Did you get that impression playing with him on the pitch, training, etc.?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's weird because, you know, sometimes when you're with people every day, like me, every time I went away with England from under 16s to under 19s, I was with Raheem. So I've kind of seen him grow. I've seen him, you know, and you know his character. And obviously, when you're away for such a long period of time, you really see the person. And you know, we know what the media is like. The media is harsh. They're looking for things that they can point out. But from a personal perspective, like yeah, he's a humble person, and you know, he's the type of person that, you know, when he's doing well, you've only got nothing but just great things to say, and you're just happy for him, really. So in
Yeah.
terms of that, yeah, he's just another person. He's just another young lad like myself, and yeah, man, he's a really humble person, and I'm happy for his progression.
And I'm sure from that time that you worked with him from under 16s up, it's no surprise to you where he is today, one of the best players in the world, right?
Yeah, definitely. It was mad because at the time when the first time I met him is when he was at QPR, and then I didn't really know about him because I never played against QPR or nothing like that. And he got called up to the England squad, and then there was talks, I think, in the paper when we was away about he might be going to another team, and he's got the pick of the bunch to go to in England kind of thing. And then
Mm.
he ended up going to Liverpool. And then I remember because I had a few friends that was playing at Crystal Palace at the time. He played in a youth cup game
Yeah,
at
yeah.
Anfield against Crystal Palace. And one of my friends that was playing for Crystal Palace, he said, Raheem Sterling, like, I want to know about him because I'm gonna be marking him kind of thing. And I said, yeah, man, he's really good. Like, he's quick and, you know, he's strong. And yeah, you have to make sure you're on your game. After the game, he called me. He said, listen, that boy, yeah, he's probably one of the best players I've ever played against. And like,
Wow.
and obviously for me, I know his quality. I know, you know, how good he is. But obviously, sometimes in games it doesn't always work, or you might not shine. But it's no coincidence that he is where he is now because, you know, he's got the quality and he's shown it continuously.
No, that's absolutely amazing, Blair. I really appreciate you sharing that. Now, this new chapter of your life with Jamaica, a decade on. Firstly, how does it feel to have that passport and being called up for Jamaica? And are you looking forward to this new chapter of your career?
Yeah, 100%, man. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's been a long time coming, and I'm just glad to finally get it over the line and to be involved, and just looking forward to the new journey now. I think all the experiences that I've had in football, and where I'm at now and how I'm feeling in my career now, I think I'm in a perfect place. So I'm really looking forward to getting up and running and showing what I can do.
And for those individuals that haven't had a chance to watch you play, how would you describe yourself? Would you describe yourself as a direct player, as rapid? How would you describe yourself to somebody that hasn't had an opportunity to see you play as yet?
Yeah, I would just say exciting. Really, I think me personally, like the reason why I play football is just to enjoy it and to give back to people that like football. I think like one of the things where, like my mum, for example, like she doesn't know lots about football, but one thing I just always have in the back of my mind is just to really like excite people. And when I get on the pitch, I just want to show that I'm willing to take the horns by the scruff of the neck kind of thing, and really just go for it. And yeah, I think that's my personality, and yeah, I just really enjoy playing football. I'm an attacking player. I like to score goals, make goals, and yeah, I would just say exciting.
Yeah, and the journey that you had in terms of getting the paperwork, getting the passport, the Jamaican passport. When did all of this start? Did the Jamaican FA reach out to you? Did you reach out to your agent for information? How did that journey sort of start?
Well, it started initially. Gravel actually messaged me, um, and he said that the JFF have contacted him, and if I'm okay for them to get into contact with me. And I was like, yeah, of course. Like this was something I've always wanted to do, and for him to hear him say that kind of thing was music to my ears. So I was really grateful for that, and I got in contact with them, and then shortly after, which was I think the back end of last year, um, yeah, we started the process of getting everything sorted, getting my grandparents' passports and birth certificates and my parents and stuff, which was pretty easy, to be honest, easier than I thought it would be. And then yeah, getting the ball rolling really, and then it took a while, obviously, because of the coronavirus and everything that's been going on. It's been hard to, because I was in Sweden at the time as well. I had to go over to the embassy in England. But to be fair, my club was fine with me leaving and coming over to sort things out. And then yeah, it got sorted. I think it was just after the Saudi Arabia game that kind of we started the process of everything. And then yeah, we got the ball rolling. So I just kind of just made sure that it was down to me now. Now I had that procedure just to make sure that I was playing good at club level and just giving myself every chance to be selected.
And I'm sure you've done a bit of research on the team and some of the players that are involved, some with Premier League experience and some veterans in the team as well from the Championship, the Mariapas, the Andre Grays, Leon Baileys of this world. How excited are you to play with these players? And of course, yourself going to be added into the mix, of course, Kemar Roof and company as well. So how excited are you to be playing with this talented players as we push to get to the World Cup?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a great group. I think there's a mix of everything that teams need, and especially international teams, you need to have that mixture of, of of so many different mixes. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. There's so many players in there that have quality that's gonna shine, and yeah, I'm just really looking forward to the challenge ahead, really, and just yeah, really stamping my mark on it.
Yeah, as you know, big summer ahead, big enter 2021, the Gold Cup, World Cup qualifiers. What are some of the goals that you have, as you enter international football with Jamaica?
Well, for me, it's just to now I've kind of been selected. It's just about making sure that I help the team to as much as I can. When I'm involved and training and being around the place, and yeah, just really just almost showing the people who I am and the type of player I am. So as a player, you always want to play at the best stages and the biggest stages, and this is why we started playing football in the first place. So it's just another journey and another chapter that you have to just kind of take with both hands.
And this journey that you have in Sweden, you know, leaving England, because not a lot of individuals like to leave England. They might go to Cardiff or Swansea or Newport in Wales. They might go up north, but to leave the UK as a whole and that experience as well. How much have you embraced that? A bit of transition, yes, but now you're scoring goals and feeling confident in Scandinavia.
Yeah, definitely. It's almost like coming out of your comfort zone. For me, I only played abroad when I was playing for England and when I went away to certain tournaments with West Ham. So to be over here on a full-time basis is something it's a transition that you have to get used to, and it's not always as easy as just the football. You know, there's so many different things and so many different like factors that come into it. But I think it's really made me appreciate the journey that I'm on, really. And yeah, God will make you shine no matter what. You just have to keep the faith. You just have to keep believing in yourself, and as long as you keep doing everything you can possibly do, you will get to the heights you want to get to, really. And yeah, I'm enjoying the stage that I'm at now in my career. I'm playing well, I'm scoring goals, and yeah, I'm just really looking forward to it now.
And I'm sure, of course, doing well for Jamaica, playing at a World Cup, being in Jamaica and be able to play in front of 35,000 screaming fans will definitely be an ambition of yours as well.
Yeah, 100%. I can't wait. I can't wait to play in front of fans, let alone because I think at the moment in Sweden we're playing in front of 8 fans, and it feels at the moment like you're playing in front of 100 just because
Yeah.
there's at least some people in the crowd. So them moments, like I said, like them moments is something that money can't buy, and it's things that you're gonna take with you forever. So I'm really looking forward to them experiences, and yeah, I can't wait to get underway.
And I'm sure you won't mind those 8, 9 hour flights to Jamaica because you'll be representing the badge and the country of your heritage.
Yeah, of course. That's nothing really when you think about it. It's bigger than that.
Yeah. Reflecting on your journey, as a professional, playing in the FA Cup with West Ham, the journey at Coventry and Colchester and also Leyton Orient as well. How proud of you of the journey you've been on so far, and of course, looking forward to the next chapter as well with Jamaica.
Yeah, definitely. I think everything happens for a reason. I believe that, and you just have to, like I said, you have to just make sure that you're doing everything you possibly can to not at the end of your career have an excuse or to think, oh, why didn't I do this, or why didn't I, train harder, or why didn't I score, or whatever, whatever it may be. So I think you've always got to look at yourself, and you've got to look at the man in the mirror. It takes a lot of reflection because sometimes when things are going really well, you don't really take it in, and you don't really, you don't appreciate how good it really is getting. And when it's getting really bad, you just think, oh, I don't see an end. So it's the journey of football that you're on. It's a roller coaster all the time. But yeah, you can never be too high and you can never be too low. Really, you just got to kind of take the steps with the steps and just keep moving forward.
Well said. Look, Blair, really, really appreciate your time, mate. Really, really appreciate it. Keep up the good work. And next month, we look forward to you making your debut for Jamaica. And hopefully, it will be the first of many as we push to get to the World Cup, man. Really, really appreciate your time.
Thank you, Simon. Appreciate it, mate.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching Reggae Boys Commentary. Don't forget to subscribe. And we'll be in touch with Blair